We are happy to present to you our paper in CHI 2023 titled Impact of Privacy Protection Methods of Lifelogs on Remembered Memories. I'm Passant ElAgroudy and I'm presenting on behalf of my co-authors Dr. Mohamed Khamis, Florian Mathis, Irmscher, Ekta, Sood, Dr. Andreas and Dr. Albrecht Schmidt. Ever wondered if your daily digital interactions are deliberately or accidentally changing how you remember things? Photos are one of the most common tools we use to remember past events. For example, statistics show that people in USA take an average of 20 photos per day. Additionally, there are around 1 billion surveillance cameras around the world continuously capturing content of our daily lives. This poses a major threat to the privacy of individuals and the privacy of the bystanders in the photo shooting ranges. There are several ways to address this issue, such as stopping the capture in sensitive situations or post-processing the captured content to remove the sensitive part. Two of the most common methods used in industry and research alike are blurring of sensitive parts and the deletion of sensitive photos. While blurring and deletion have high utility and user acceptance, we know from prior work that altered photos could be used deliberately or accidentally to change memories. For example, Sherman et al. Showed that it's possible to maliciously implant false memories about a competitor brand using TV advertisements. Similarly, Adams et al. Showed that eyewitnesses removed true details from their testimonies when they didn't find a trace of them in their life logs. Our goal in this work is twofold. First, we want to investigate if there are accidental memory formations resulting from using blurring or deletion to protect the privacy of individuals. Second, we want to know if one of them is better suited for memory augmentation scenarios. Thus, this paper is considered a white hat attack in the context of environmental lifelogging to understand the impact of the privacy protection method, referred here to as PPM, and how we remember memories. Environmental lifelogging here could be imagined like a surveillance camera automatically capturing a photo every X minutes. We specifically try to answer 4 research questions about the impact of the privacy protection method on how we narrate our memories when we remember them. We look at 3 aspects. The first is the tendency of the person to change their narrative after seeing the altered photo. The second is the quality of the remembered details. The third is how confident the person is about the correctness of their remembered content. And lastly, we look whether the privacy protection methods are helpful for remembering better. To achieve our goal, we designed a between-subject lab experiment using real-world events. The experiment was composed of 4 sessions. The first session was a group session to build synthetic memories, while the second session, 5 days later, was the memory evaluation session. In this first session, we invited participants to come and engage in an interactive workshop about lifelogging and to play a board game we designed to generate interactions between them. The session was fully recorded through photos taken every 5 minutes. The session lasted for 90 minutes. In the second session, each participant came alone to answer a questionnaire twice. Once to understand their baseline of remembered details, and the second after showing them a subset of the captured photos to detect memory changes resulting from the intervention. We had 3 conditions representing the privacy protection methods. The first was the baseline, where the intervention was a subset of 20 photos taken at equal intervals in the first session and left unaltered. The second condition was the same 20 photos, but all bodies and faces were blurred. The third and last condition was 5 photos only out of the 20 with equal temporal sampling and left unaltered. The session lasted for another 90 minutes. The questionnaire had 30 questions about the events that happened in the session. We ran the full experiment twice to collect enough participants while we avoid having a large overwhelming group that is hard to. We had 21 participants in total, 4 females and 17 males. Each experimental condition had 7 participants. We recruited participants from the university mailing list and a Facebook group for expats. We did a background check to make sure our participants do not know each other. Our participants were aged between 20 and 32 years old. We provided a compensation of 20 euros for participation. Additionally, we provided a voucher of 10 euros for the highest achieving participant in terms of correctness to maintain the quality of the answers. We analyzed the answers of the questionnaire to answer our research questions. We used 6 analysis matrices. The first is labeling the questions in the questionnaire, whether they are recognition or recall questions. The second is labeling all answers that changed after the intervention. The third is labeling every answer as correct, semi-correct, or wrong. An answer is semi-correct if it has elements pointing to the correct answer, but not an exact one. An example is correctly describing the physical features of someone when the question is about their name. A fourth metric was the recall correctness score. We score every correct label as 2, semi-correct as 1, and wrong as 0, then sum the answers per participant to get the score. We also had self-reported Likert scales indicating how confident the participant is about each answer and how helpful did they find the photos to answer that question. We used Bayesian factor analysis because it enables us to draw conclusions that there is no difference between the conditions rather than only detecting the difference like regular inferential statistics. We conducted Bayesian two-way ANOVA to analyze the impact of the privacy protection method, that is the blurring and the deletion, and the type of the remembering, that is whether recognition or recall, on the dependent variables of each research question. Our first research question investigates the impact of the privacy method on the tendency to change narrated memories. We tested that question by analyzing the percentage of changed answers. The results showed that participants significantly tended to change their answers more in recognition rather than recall situations. However, there is no evidence that either visualization led to more changes. Our second research question investigates the impact of the privacy method on the quality of the narrated memories. The results show that neither visualization led to enhancing or worsening the remembering in recognition nor recall. Our third research question investigates the impact of the privacy method on the user's perceived confidence about their narrated memories. The results show that participants were generally confident about their answers in all conditions. However, they weren't particularly more confident in any of the conditions compared to the others in recognition and recall scenarios. Our fourth and last research question investigates how helpful are the privacy methods in augmenting the memories. Participants generally thought the photos were not helpful, although we can objectively see enhancements in their performance after seeing the photos. They also found the photos more helpful in recognition scenarios. Now, what are the implications of those results and how can we use them to design systems? The first implication is that both blurring and deletion are good options for privacy protection when designing systems to augment memories. This is because we cannot find evidence that they either degrade the remembering quality nor that users tend to change their answers more in one of them. We were also surprised that users did not clearly prefer to have more photos or higher quality. The design implications of these results is that deletion might be superior as a privacy protection method for memory augmentation systems because it saves storage and offers higher protection for private without compromising the Lifelogs utility as memory prostheses. Blurring is also a good option that is widely likable by users and designers alike. The second implication of our results is that our participants did not think that the original blurred or deleted Lifelogs were helpful in enhancing their recognition and recall. However, objective metrics show that they consistently remembered better after seeing the photos in all conditions. They were also systematically confident about their results. The design implication of these results is that blurring could be a superior tool for intentional memory reformation, which is degradation and implementation, as it provides ambiguous cues that could potentially lead to misattribution while maintaining high confidence of the user in the remembered content. Deletion could also work by systematically omitting information. To sum up, we have two takeaways from this work. The first is we show here there is no evidence that both privacy protection methods, blurring and deletion, are more dangerous than the unaltered photos with respect to accidental memory alterations. The second is designers should always test the impact of privacy protection visualizations on memories, especially in the context of photos, to avoid accidental memory alterations, and our work provides a systematic method for doing so. This is particularly important given the recent advances in artificial intelligence enabling unprecedented alterations to photos. For example, we would love to consider in the future the long-term impact on memories of using the magic eraser tool to remove particular individuals from a photo like the one you see now. Thank you for your attention and feel free to reach out to us for follow-up discussions.